This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18, and it reads, And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barazal from the Indianapolis camp of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another quick lesson that's hopefully edifying to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, just to get right into it, just going to prove that, you are the seed of your father, and we can't always, judge a person based on their looks, okay, because it can be very deceiving, which I'm going to prove here with this video. All right, so without further ado, just get right into it.
What I'm going to say is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. But I'm going to say it. As a supposed white person in America, and I say supposed because I look white, even whiter than the whitest person. And in all of my life living in America and interacting with most white people, they will laugh in every minority's face, call them their sisters and brothers, and behind their back, because I've heard them, have no disregard for them. They think they are inferior. I would not like to tell you over the 40 years that I worked in corporate America that the white people who think I'm white have said to me when it comes to minorities. That's the blacks, the Cubans, the Mexicans, every single one of the Hispanic races. They think you're wetbacks. They think you're lazy. They think that you do not have the right to have a seat at the table. I'm not white. My father was black. But they thought I was white. And they could say anything behind these people's backs. I've heard it. So all of you people who think that these fucking Republicans who are talking about white supremacy mean you any good, you have no idea what they say in the boiler room, the back room, and all the other rooms that you're not in.
All right. Well, let's first of all dispel a couple things. Number one, there's no such thing as white people. There's no such thing as black people. Those are social constructs. We know that white people didn't exist until 1681 in Virginia. That's what Esau Edom does, classifies people. Okay. Also, there's no person that's black. We are all different shades of brown, and they are all different shades of red. Okay. That's what Edom means, red. All right. So we're going to get that squared away quickly. All right. Just want to clear that up. Okay. No such thing as white people. No such thing as black people. Those are social constructs. All right. And what you just saw, that lady clearly, since I've been in the truth, has been one of the most, for the lack of better words, deceptive speckled birds I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, if she hadn't said it, I wouldn't have believed it. But being in this truth, we know that's what can happen. All right. And we know how it happened. So let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And it reads, And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And see, because of that scattering to the ends of the earth amongst other people, when we were scattered, we would become few in number. And because of all the intermingling, after 2 to 3 generations, you start to lose your original color, almost to the point of being washed out. You look just like the other heathens, but you are an Israelite by blood. All right. And it says, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And we know that wood is Christianity, and that Muslim, Slakia, the stone is Muslim. But when you serving those other gods, not only in those lands where we were scattered to, not only did we take on the appearance of those heathen nations, but we worship the same way. So we ended up being just like them. All right, ended up being just like them. Now, there's a flip side of that too, in the account of Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 through 30, and then verses 36 through 43, where the enemy sowed his seed amongst us. So on the flip side of that, you can have a lot of melanated Edomites that look or Israelites. You have Edomites that look like Israelites. All right, because of that intermingling. They came in. They definitely came in and took our wives. But once the baby came forth, the baby looked like an Israelite. Okay, that's that parable of the wheats and tares. Like I said, according to Matthew chapter 13. All right, and a lot of that really picked up at the point there could not be any more slave ships trading. So what happened? They had Jake to have intercourse with his own family members, and then also the slave owner did it as well too. All right. So Esau Edom, being the wicked person that he was, he was enslaving his own children. You know, just because they didn't look like him. All right. So yeah, that's that case. So when we come up against these situations, the scriptures tell us to believe in 1 John 4:1 that we have to try the spirits to see whether they are of the children of Yahweh. All right. We have to, definitely try that. And how do we know that? We filter everything through the scriptures. Let me get Romans chapter 8, verse 16. And it reads, The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. And, eventually, if you try that spirit, long enough, you will see, even though that person may not look like an Israelite, you know, that they very well may be an Israelite. So that woman, that's a true cut to the so-called black only Israelites. Okay, we look like every nation that we were scattered to. All right, so we have to make sure that we're not so quick to judge those individuals when they come into our presence. All right, this is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 27. No, that's not it. It's 7 and 24. Salakia. All right. The book of John, chapter 7, verse 24, and it reads, Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. And that's the thing, when a person such as that woman in that video comes across, we have to be very, very, very careful, you know. not to, quench their spirit, when they come up to the camps and ask questions. They could very well go back to the seed of Jacob. All right. And it says, but judge righteous judgment. And how do we do that? That's going to be in Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 15. And it reads, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. Of course, and that neighbor goes into your brother. But it says, ye shall do no unrighteous judgment. Case in point, with that same lady in that video, not knowing who who her seed line goes back to, you very well could be misjudging a fellow Israelite. Okay, and it says that thou shalt not respect the person of the poor. So if that a poor person committed such a crime, they have to be judged according to the law. Okay, all right. Same thing with the person of the mighty. The judgment is the same. It is the exact same, regardless of what their status is in the community. And we know right now, being under the rule of Esau Edom, that skin color makes all the difference. You know, you could have an Edomite, an apparent Edomite, commit the same offense in this country, all right, and they get a slap on the hand versus Jake getting the draconian law thrown at him. When in the case of this video, that Edomite could actually go back to an Israelite, and that Jake could go back into an Edomite. All right. So here again, just be very careful. Especially you have to avoid this black only Israelite doctrine, because we were scattered all over the world and for centuries multiplied. All over the world. All right. And there are a lot of us that are not going to look like the original Israelites. That's why in that Matthew chapter 13, it reads that the angels, it's going to take the angels to separate us from one another, separate the wheat from the tares during the harvest time. The harvest time is, that day when the Lord comes back, and takes up his elect and burns up the rest. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying for the body. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Abba Abba, Shalom.